This lesson shows how to graph the rational function 2 over x minus 2. In previous lessons, you've learned about the four important parts of rational functions. The vertical asymptote is a vertical line where the function is not defined. The graph curves up or down as it approaches its VA. The horizontal asymptote is a horizontal line. The graph approaches away from the VA, curving down from above or up from below. The y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis, and the x-intercept is where the graph crosses the x-axis. This lesson shows how to graph the rational function y equals 2 over x minus 2 in variations of the function. The VA is the zero of the denominator. Set the denominator equal to 0 and solve. So the VA for this function is the vertical line x equal 2. For this rational function, the numerator is degree 0 and the denominator is degree 1. Since the degree of the numerator is less than the degree of the denominator, the HA for this function is the horizontal line y equals 0, the x-axis. To find the y-intercept, evaluate the function for x equals 0. This gives 2 over negative 2, which is negative 1. So the y-intercept for the function is the point 0, negative 1. The x-intercept is the 0 of the numerator. Since the numerator is a constant, it can never be 0, and there is no x-intercept for this function. Next, calculate at least one point on either side of the VA. At x equal 1, y equals negative 2, and there's a point at 1, negative 2. At x equals 3, y equals plus 2, and there's a point at 3, 2. Finally, sketch a graph of the function. From these points, you can see the graph is decreasing as it approaches the VA, so the graph must curve down as it approaches the VA, and up from below towards the HA. From this point, the graph can't curve down because there would be an x-intercept, so the graph must curve up towards the VA and down from above towards the HA. So sketch the graph of the function like this. Here are some variations of the function. If the numerator is negative 2 instead of positive 2, the graph is reflected vertically. For example, this branch of the function has been flipped over and is now above the x-axis. If the constant in the numerator is larger, the graph stretches vertically. For example, notice this branch of the function is higher. If the constant in the numerator is smaller, the graph shrinks vertically. For example, notice this branch of the function is lower. If x minus 2 in the denominator is replaced with x plus 2, the graph shifts to the left. The VA is now at x equal negative 2 instead of positive 2. This lesson showed how to graph the rational function 2 over x minus 2. And this lesson was brought to you by the Math Fun Academy. Its continuing mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new math and new equations, to boldly go where no math student has gone before.